Today was hard, and I'm happy for that. I've finally started getting to a point where I'm having to work to do these weights, and it's good. It means I'm finally finding the sweet spot in my training to where things are going to start progressing in really everything. You're never really going to get stronger if everything you're doing is really easy all the time. You're not going to get that amount of growth you need to be able to kind of push forward and really develop strength. And doing that today just felt good. It felt good to have to push to do a workout. The 265 squats, they weren't the most difficult thing in the world, but they were definitely it was a step up, you know. It was not easy to do them. I had to take time to really kind of think through how I was going to approach each rep, make sure that I was doing things correctly, that I was getting proper depth, that I was utilizing the right muscle groups to be able to go up from the negative and the eccentric and just keep, each rep clean every time. I could not allow myself to cheat, especially when I was getting this good of a response from the weights that I was doing. So the squats went very well. It was definitely a bit of effort to get them done, but that's good. I still hold that I think I would probably top out at 285 on a 5x5 right now. So we'll see if that holds true in about a month from now, honestly, actually, to see if I keep pushing and if maybe I can get that number higher and higher, or if I do end up hitting a wall, which won't be, the worst thing in the world. I need to hit a point to where I find out where I top out at, because then that gives me a number that I can push to get stronger and stronger with. So with just the way things went today, I'm just very happy. So going into my fourth set here, it's kind of odd. In the first few, I didn't feel necessarily as warmed up, which is a common theme for me in my training with squats. My warm-up sets today were a set of 10 at an open bar, a set of 5 at 95, set of 5 at 135, 185, and then a set of 3 at 225. And I felt pretty good after that. I do those back to back to back, with no rest between them. I just kind of sprint up to my working weight just to kind of get everything firing on all cylinders. And usually what kind of ends up happening is that I'm still kind of warming up on the first set, sometimes maybe the second, and I feel good by the, typically or the second or third set to where I'm good to go. But it kind of set in a little bit later into the third set to where I kind of felt, okay, this is good. I'm ready to go. But it didn't last as long. So I might need to rethink my squat warm-ups. I know I mentioned that in the over the past month, but I decided to just kind of keep a similar structure just because it works for me. But it was overall, it ended up working out. I've kind of changed up my deadlift warm-ups into a variation that I might try with squats, to where I was just doing 135, then 225, and then calling it good. So overhead press, 115. I finally got 5 sets of 5 in clean. And I mean, it's not necessarily finally. It took 2 attempts, which is about the same it did with the 110. But man, was it an effort to do it today. I did 2 minutes of rest between the first and second and the third sets. But after the third, I just kind of thought to myself, if I don't give myself at least 3 minutes, I'm not going to be able to finish that fourth set. I could just kind of feel the fatigue setting into my shoulders. And I just knew that I had to do the appropriate amount of rest to be able to get it done. And watching back on this now, there's no leg drive on these reps. And I'm so happy about that. I just want to be able to strict press my body weight for 1 rep, and cheating out reps in a strict press workout with push presses just isn't going to be satisfying for me. So I've kind of resolved, as I did last on Saturday, that if I end up push pressing the reps during my sets, I'm going to count that as a failure. And I'm not going to really consider that like a good set. And these, I didn't do that. there was a minor, like, my legs compensating when I was coming down in the middle of the third set, but I didn't utilize that to push or push the weight up. So this is coming into the fourth set. This is the first time I took a 3-minute break, just thinking I need to do something a little bit longer to be able to get through this. This set felt really good after taking that 3 minutes. Part of the reason why you do that is I believe that, if I remember right, whenever you take 2 minutes of rest, you gain back about like 60% of your body's ATP. And then once you hit 3 minutes, it's roughly about 80%. So that gives you a little bit more energy to push through the next set with. And doing that just kind of helped mentally prepare me to just kind of think, okay, I've taken this rest time. I can do this. I can get through these reps. So fifth set, pushing through 2 reps, 3, nice and clean. And I thought to myself, I got to fight this fourth out. And I took a second, breathe, collect myself, and then just push that 5th rep up. And man, did I feel good doing that. I think I had a little yell there, and then a big goofy smile as I was walking back, because I was just like, man, I pulled it off. Ooh, look at the little flex there. Going to the deadlifts, these honestly a little challenging. So that was a little surprising, just because usually my hex bar deadlifts are strong comparatively with everything else, but I went through them and I got that taken care of. The 5 reps are nice and strong in each set, and I'm really making sure to have that intention of breaking the weight and the tension of the weight off of the floor before starting, just because I want to make sure that I've got everything activated and ready to go, and I'm not trying to pull it all at once from a dead stop. That's really not a great deadlift technique. So you can see here, start, break, pull, give it time to reset, so I'm not doing touch and go reps, and just a nice solid lockout. My positioning is pretty good, so I'm happy with that. I feel like my positioning has always been fairly strong in trap bar deadlifts, just because of your starting position in that, and it favors me a little bit more than conventional deadlifts, but that's also just because I'm able to have my hips a little bit higher to start. So especially doing a high handle pull, it's also kind of more comparable to a squat than it is a deadlift at times, and I feel like my squat form is very good, so I can kind of get away emulating that instead of doing an actual deadlift form. But regardless, the weight moved very well. I still think maybe on trap bar I could probably get away with doing a set of 5 at like maybe 365, maybe 370 if I'm using straps and just like pulling the ever living hell out of it for 5 reps. I don't know. I'd have to try. I might try at some point, just because it seems like fun to really kind of push that number and see what I can hit. It's just good. I think I can't remember if I mentioned it the other day, but I feel like I am definitely back at the point where I was before I tore my shoulder, to where I am the strongest I've ever been. And the numbers are just keep going up. Everything feels good. And I know this isn't something that's going to last forever, to where I am going to eventually hit a wall, but I want to find it. I want to find that wall, so I know what I have to keep pushing up against. But until that time comes, I just feel stronger. I am stronger, every workout, and my body's just being able to accommodate this load and push every single time. And I just want to keep pushing myself and figure out what I can do and what I'm capable of. So I'm looking forward to seeing where I end up.